Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from AnthonysCustoms, and for this review, we are looking at the Bandai Figuarts Dragon Ball Z Android 18, which I know a lot of people are excited about just because the Figuarts version of this character is now pretty hard to come by, and a lot of people are looking at this as a likely alternative to the now very expensive figure. And I have to tell you, it's a pretty cool model kit. It does turn out to be a pretty nice action figure in the end. There are, of course, things we need to talk about if you want to look at it from an action figure perspective. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This figure stands roughly, well, it's actually almost exactly 6 inches. It's just shy of 6 inches. I thought it was a little bit shorter than that, but it's not, which makes it about 15.5 centimeters. So again, just like I mentioned in the Vegeta and Goku videos, these guys are not in scale. Now, I do have some Figuarts to show you this time due to some pretty good luck. So let me grab one and I'll give you a quick size comparison. Okay, so here is your standard Goku from Figuarts, and here is the Figuarts 18. She is taller than Goku if you don't count his hair. So as you can see, it's very much out of scale. So you do have to be aware of that if you are looking to keep them in the same direct collection, but that doesn't necessarily mean that this can't fill the spot. With a little bit of clever posing, you might be okay. And I have to say, this thing does look pretty nice, and it has some pretty cool accessories, so let's go ahead and talk about those first. We do have the Energy Blast accessory, which is very nicely done. It's a nice translucent yellow plastic with the translucent upright that is adjustable and has a hinge at the top. Now, these are the two most likely to break pieces, so if you are giving this kit to a kid and not letting them use tools, you want to help them with this part, or they will most likely break these pieces as they are trying to remove them from the sprues. She also has an interchangeable belt piece, which has a display stand peg hole on the back. Now, the belt does come with stickers to make it look right, but I didn't put them on yet. And so we can go ahead and talk about the stickers. We have plenty of stickers to put on this figure. We have the logo for the back of her jacket, her mouthpiece, her belt pieces, and then we have a bunch of interchangeable eye stickers, which I don't personally like since the eyes are actually already molded into the various parts. I wouldn't suggest putting the stickers over top, but that is totally up to you. So let's go ahead and talk about the faces now. We have the one neutral face, one face where she's looking down, and then one face where she is yelling, and there you see the mouth sticker inside there, which isn't very difficult to apply, though it is very tiny. Lastly, we have a few different hands. We have the two fist hands, and then we have two open palm hands. So not the greatest array of accessories, but definitely enough to give you some posing options, and I think that's pretty nice. As a nice little bonus feature, she does have the little self-destruct part that goes inside of her chest, and you have to assemble it and put it in there, but there's really no good way to get at it once the figure is assembled, so it's kind of a novelty that it's in there, but you're going to really have to take the figure apart to get to it, and you don't really want to do that, so it's cool, but it's not altogether that helpful. Now, as I mentioned, for the clear parts for the energy effect piece, this figure could be built by kids without tools if you're going to maybe help them through it a little bit. It does have some more fragile parts, the clear pieces, of course, but if you're going to have them do it without tools, this piece right here, not necessarily the chest part, but the collar piece, and there are some other very tiny pieces up throughout the hair that can break if you are not particularly careful, so you definitely want to build it the way you're supposed to if you're a collector. Use the tools you're supposed to use, or if you're going to give it to a kid, definitely give them a little bit of parental supervision. Otherwise, they should be okay. These guys aren't incredibly well detailed, so they don't have a ton of tiny pieces, but it does have enough to be you have to be worried about it just a little bit. One cool feature about this figure is that the skirt is a soft piece, and that's kind of nice, though it's not soft enough that it's really going to make that much of a difference. I mean, unless you want to move the legs backwards, it works very nicely going back, but going forward, it doesn't flex a ton, but it is there, so that's kind of cool. Now, as far as articulation goes, the head is on a ball peg, and the neck is on a ball peg, and there's technically a second ball peg in there on the top of the neck, too, so you can move the head around pretty well, except for the fact that the hair comes down right up to the collar, so it's pretty much going to limit your posability to mostly just a swivel, so you're going to have to be aware of that. Now, this figure does not have any paint on it. It is a model kit, so you're gonna have to add some paint if you want to. And you're also gonna have to be aware that it doesn't provide stickers for every little detail. As you'll notice, her earrings don't have any coloration on them. So there are things to be aware of if you're gonna get this as a figure rather than as a model kit. Now, the shoulders do have a butterfly joint and a ball peg, though it is kind of limited due to this outer sleeve that we have here on the shoulder. It's not too bad because this shoulder piece is on a little bit of a hinge, but it doesn't really move too much on its own. It's really just for when you raise the arm up, and it does work nicely for that. You can bring the arm forward a little bit on that inner joint, but it doesn't move that much. You will get plenty of motion out of that ball peg though if you're going to rotate it, so it's really not too bad. It's not ideal, it's not perfect, but it's definitely fine. And as you saw, the hinge for the shoulder is very nice. You do have a butterfly joint. Wow, you have a bicep swivel right there, which is nicely hidden in the stripes on the outfit. And then you have a single jointed elbow, which gives you a little bit better than 90 degrees and doesn't look too bad. Then the hands are connected on ball pegs, though they sit very deep in the sleeve, so you don't get the best range out of them. For the torso, we have a ball peg in the top and then one in the bottom, so it can move around pretty well, but you're going to mostly just get the ball peg in the bottom to do all of the work. The upper ball peg doesn't really move that much, just like on Goku and Vegeta, it's very limited. For the hips, we have a ball peg and kind of a hinge. It's really more of a swivel, but they move really well. You can get the legs all the way out to the side pretty much, so that's pretty good. It does split the skirt piece a little bit, which is how it's intended to work, so that's all right. And you do have the motion going forward, but the skirt is stronger than the legs, so you're really not going to get them to move that far. So don't expect her to go to any crazy kicking poses. You do get a thigh swivel, so that's nice. A double jointed knee, which works very nicely, though it's not the best looking. I mean, we've definitely seen better. It's not terrible though, so I guess that's okay. And then for the ankle, you have a ball peg, which provides decent range, especially if you pull the foot down a little bit. It's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's definitely okay. And that's how I kind of feel about this whole thing. If you're getting these only to go with your Figuarts, it's definitely going to feel like it's lacking a little bit. I mean, it just doesn't have all the detail. It has a different kind of aesthetic, which is definitely appealing, but it's not going to match up with the Figuarts in both posability or in detail, so you're going to have to be aware of that. But it is a nice kit for what it is, and for the price point especially, it's a very solid kit, so I'd say I recommend it for sure. Just don't get them confused with Figuarts. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, I need to get that to go with my Figuarts collection. Well, you may not want to do that. You might want to get it just to be what it is. I think that's okay. I forgot to mention this, you can also drop the leg down like an SH Figuarts figure, so it does give you a little bit of extra range, but due to the skirt, it doesn't really help anything. So be aware that it's in there, but it's not going to help that much. So yeah, it's a cool figure, cool kit, and it'll definitely do for the price point. I would say I recommend it. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And in the meantime, keep collecting.